Got it. So we are live now on YouTube. Good evening. So this is week 2 of our weekly sessions. Last week we spoke about insomnia. And this week I'm going to talk about hypersomnia. Hypersomnia or narcolepsy. So both of it, basically, they are technical words, which means you sleep too much. Or during daytime, you're still feeling sleepy. So you sleep for many more hours than normally accepted. 7 to 9 hours is normally accepted for adults, but here you're going to be sleeping a lot more hours. Let me start straight away with sharing. Let's jump directly into the presentation. Yes, I hope you're able to see me, hear me, and I hope it's under recording now. Okay, so let me just check if it's being recorded also. Yes, the recording is also on. So I'm Ignatius Raphael. I'm the deep sleep coach. I help people to add years, decades to their life by sleeping in the right manner such that their longevity, their health, their productivity, their relationships, their mindset, everything can be improved. It's something which is so natural, freely available to us, and easily attainable. It's not difficult. I mean, you might have temporary difficulties, but that can be dealt with and cured. It's not a big deal. Okay, so that's the space I'm in. I got into this space because of the death of a friend 2 weeks before his 40th birthday. The death certificate said heart attack, but it was insufficient sleep syndrome. That is, he reduced his sleep hours so that he can give more of himself to the world. He excelled in all spheres of his life, all spheres. But he died before he turned 40. Perfectly healthy guy, perfectly healthy habits. No warning, just gone one morning. So that's how bad it is. So I got into this space to help people, especially those busy people who do not have the time to think of how to take care of themselves. So, but they think they are, because they're doing things for people. They are working hard, they're giving of themselves to their family, their co-workers, their company, and so on. But they don't last it through. And that's the sad part. So hypersomnia or narcolepsy, what is it? So as you can see from this image, an average person sleeps 7 to 9 hours, an adult, while a hypersomniac may sleep even up to 16 hours. That's a huge jump. Most of the time is taken by their sleep, and they're not able to control it. It is a disease. And so we just need to understand this disease. What are the risk factors because of this, and how you can remedy it? That's what the short, I think I'll take less than half an hour. So just stay on to discover more about hypersomnia. So it's basically excessive daytime sleepiness, inability to stay energetic through the day and be productive through the day. That is the second symptom you're seeing. And third is they fall asleep while talking to you, sitting, watching TV, or driving. At odd times, they just drift off to sleep. So that is also, they've slept 8 or 9 hours at night. They ought not to sleep during the day, but they still end up sleeping in fits and bursts, totaling something like even probably up to 16 hours. So that is hypersomnia. So what are the risk factors because of hypersomnia? So one is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea or snoring could be one of the causes of hypersomnia, because you're basically curtailing the oxygen intake into your system and the oxygen intake to your. So that could be causing this hypersomnia or narcolepsy. So, I mean, the normal day-to-day usage is daytime sleepiness. Second cause, possible cause, again, related to sleep apnea is other sleep time breathing disorders. So some people find it difficult when they sleep on the back or the side, or different things which prevent them to breathe properly, or they might have asthma. So any medical conditions which result in sleep time breathing disorders can again cause hypersomnia, because you're not fully rested at night. That is a real issue. Then chronic kidney conditions, end stage renal failure, this can also cause hypersomnia. So when you have hypersomnia, that is when you're feeling sleepy through the day, often, not one off, not something like, okay, you had many days of less sleep, so you're like binge sleeping, that is okay. But if it is happening multiple times in a week, then there's a possibility that you have one of these possible reasons why you have hypersomnia. So check out with a doctor whether there's any kidney conditions or heart conditions. Again, because of these heart conditions, your heart is beating faster, your BP goes through the roof, your inability to suppress cortisol while you're sleeping is there. So the melatonin levels start dropping, so you have fitful sleep and you're not able to get that full proper rest. So during the day, you're still struggling. So this can also happen due to some brain conditions like dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system, atypical depression. Atypical depression really means that you're not all the time depressed. There could be some events which raises your mood and makes you feel good and upbeat and all that. But again, suddenly you drift back into depression. So that is atypical depression. Low thyroid function, that can also cause hypersomnia. Obesity can cause hypersomnia. And the basic orexin, which is a brain chemical that regulates wakefulness, that gets reduced. Uh, it's possible because we have actually a chemical, our whole life experience is based on the interaction of chemicals within our system. So the hormone production, your killer cells, which goes and attacks sometimes healthy things like orexin, okay, which regulates wakefulness. So because of some mismatch in the chemical balance within your system, you could find that your wakefulness is not robust, it's not regulated properly, and you're ending up to sleep in between. So these are the possible conditions, reasons why that hypersomnia or narcolepsy may be happening to you. So these are the risk factors. Now, the main purpose of this whole thing is how to remedy it. So you now know if you have it. Second is, what are the possible risk factors which caused it, which will help you to check it out, and what are the remedial measures that you can take. So are you ready for that? Let's start. So the first remedial measure is to get the TDS of your sleep right. If you've attended my earlier programs, you'll know TDS of sleep is your timing, the duration, and the satisfaction of sleep. If that is right, then you would be fully rested when you wake up and you will not have this issue of sleepiness during the day. Isn't that a great way to do it right? My deep sleep formula course or deep sleep boot camp can help you, because that's where we can help you to get the right timing, the duration, and the satisfaction levels that is required of your sleep for you to be fully rejuvenated, fully repaired, fully energized to face the next day. So, TDS of sleep is timing. That is, what time did you get into bed? What time did you sleep? How long did you sleep? And what is your satisfaction level? How energized were you when you woke up? So, did your wakefulness last the next 14, 15, 16 hours? Okay, if so, then your sleep quality was right. Second is, in your bedroom, keep distractions, remove distractions. Because if you have distractions in your bedroom, the possibility of you having a restful sleep gets diminished. Let's say you have a television in the room and you watch it right before, you keep watching it till you drift off to sleep. That's not the right type of quality of sleep that you should be having, because that was a distractant. Similarly, you might have loud music or strong smells or things which affect your senses. So, if so, then there's a possibility that these distractions have reduced the quality of your sleep. So, keep them out. So, you know what distractions you'll have if you analyze what's happening inside your bedroom. Third, the bed itself should be sacrosanct and used only for sleep or making love to your partner. Why only these two activities is, if you eat on the bed, you read, work, watch television, browse on your laptop, any of these things, if you're doing, your bed memory, actually, there's a memory, place and time as memory, space and time as memory. So, this, if it gets attached to it, the fact that you do multiple things, then when you lie down in bed and you're trying to sleep, you may not get the sleep. Because if you notice, let's say you use a certain chair to watch television, or you sit in a certain place to eat. Now, if you got yourself used to a routine, what will happen is, it'll automatically, when you sit in that chair, there's certain actions which start coming out, and you go into a kind of a pattern. It's a pattern. You set off a pattern by doing a certain thing. Same thing with the bed. So, if you're doing things which are not sleep related, okay, why I say sex is sleep related is a great way of getting to sleep, because that's one of the healthiest manners that one can get the best quality sleep, is through sex. So, sex and sleep is allowed on the bed, nothing more. If you attended my programs, you will know how much I speak about that particular aspect. The fourth, fixed timing for bedtime and wake up time. Regularity of schedule is extremely critical, because our body gets used to doing it at that time. After that, you don't have to struggle to do it. It just falls into a pattern and it just does it automatically. Because knows, if it is at 9:30, 10, it's time to switch off the lights, turn down the volume of your music, or to shut off the television, shut off the mobiles, all the digital devices. So you're shutting them all off. So when you do that, your body knows what's next, what's next, what's next. So the fixed timing and this pattern of getting to sleep, having a routine for you to get to sleep, helps you to get the right quality sleep. Sleep will come easily, you'll wake up also at the right time, and this pattern will continue. Your daytime sleepiness will not hit you, because it knows that this is the time you need to go to bed, this is the time you'll sleep, and this is the time you'll wake up. You can train your body and mind to fit into that pattern. Our whole life is just that. We consciously, unconsciously train ourselves to do things in a certain way. So, even struggling with sleep during the day or struggling with sleep during the night, these are all patterns that we've fallen into and we have to break out of. So, this fixed timing for bedtime and wake time will help you. Fifth, healthy food its timing, quantity, and quality is extremely important. Dinner should be had 3 hours before sleep time, because that allows time for digestion to take place. And when you go to sleep, the blood flow from your stomach can be, redirected towards your brain and allow you to get the right quality of sleep. This will happen if you keep a sacrosanct timing in terms of eating. So anything we do, I mean, the eating, breathing, sleeping, exercise, and so on, what are the important components, especially eating, sleeping, and exercise? So if you look at these three, it's what you're eating, what is the quality of it, what are you exercising, what environment and what quality are you, how are you sleeping? So it's a what, it's a when, and how much. All three are important in these three factors. Okay, so in food, what are you eating, when are you eating it, and how much are you eating? If this can be taken control of, so many things will get taken control of in your life. So the gap between the last meal and your sleep should be minimum 3 hours. And ideally, the gap between the last meal of the day and the next day's first meal should be 14 hours. So if you can keep this in mind, you will have a window of 10 hours to eat. You can compress it to 9, 8, or whatever. That window is when you will eat, and other times you will not eat. That way your gut health will improve. Okay, your ability to be active will improve. And many diseases, lifestyle diseases, will be knocked out of by just regulating your food. Similarly, regulate your movement, your exercise. So how much exercise are you getting? At what time are you doing it? And for how long you're doing it? These are very important questions, these three. What exercises? Are you doing strength training? Are you doing aerobic exercises? Are you building your stamina? Are you building your core? All of these things have to be looked at because we are a complex being and we need multiple resources for us to function at the at the levels that we currently function. We are not like, farmers who had, a regulated, regimented, and a simpler life. Or we are not hunters again who had much simpler lives. Today we deal with so much of complexity, and we need all our faculties in place. It's not just the mind, it's the body. If you notice, a chess champion will train his body because his body and mind are connected. Body, mind, emotions are all connected. So thinking that, no, I'm getting paid for my mind, I am exercising my mind, I don't care about my body, doesn't work. Okay, you have to care for your body. You have to ensure that you're properly hydrated, you're eating right, the right mix, so that all the nutrients, all the carbs, all the protein, you're getting all that is required to fuel your body and mind. Okay, so the right food, the right timing, the right quantity is extremely important. Right exercise, right timing of the exercise, and right duration of the exercise is important. And get sunlight while you're about it. Because sunlight resets your clock and energizes you in the morning. So your daytime sleepiness can be reduced by getting at least 15-20 minutes of sunlight. Next, alcohol or substance abuse can again cause daytime sleepiness. So best is to avoid any of these addictive substances because it's not going to help you lead a healthy life. Your well-being is compromised by having these. The eighth point is restrict your nap time. Don't, if you've slept 8 hours, maximum 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes nap time is enough. But if you slept only 6 hours or 6.5 hours, you could have a 1.5 hour nap. Your total timing should be 8 to 9 hours, between 7 to 9 hours. Okay, less than 7 is bad, above 9 is bad. So restrict it your total sleep time plus nap time should not increase beyond 9. Because then you are getting the zone where you're going to release more laziness into your system and a more somnolent type of living and probably more sleepy, drowsy lifestyle. Ninth, check your medicines and its effect. Is any of your medicines causing this? So this has to be looked at and corrected because you can see it in the contraindications. Any drug, any medicine you're taking, whether OTC or prescribed, you can always look at the contraindications and get back to your doctor about it so that they know that this is happening and they can accordingly make the changes so that it doesn't affect you. And 10th, meet your doctor. Sleep specialist will be great and a sleep study will be even greater. If you get this done, if you've tried the first 8 or 9 and then you're finding you're still having this trouble, best is to get a sleep study done so that you know exactly what is happening and where you're going wrong. And you could have a sleep doctor prescribe the right steps that you need to take to correct it. So this is in terms of what are the measures you can take. So this topic I spoke to you today about is hypersomnia or narcolepsy. A few people had asked me about this. They wanted to know how to combat daytime sleepiness. And so I thought I should share this with you. I hope it was useful. Please put in your remarks below this video and please write into me, ask me or put in the remarks what topic you'd like me to speak about in this once a week edition of my deep sleep talks. I'm going to stop the share now. It's Saturday night, and it's been raining right here today in Chennai, this storm warning. So I love this rains, I love the storm. I like to go out and, in the elements. When it's not like pouring or risky. But otherwise, great to go. So as much time as you spend in nature, it would really, really, help you to stay healthy and reduce all these aberrations which come to you. Like hypersomnia is an aberration. We are built to sleep at night for between 7 to 9 hours and be active through the day. So you could have a nap time, a siesta time, probably 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, depending on how much time you slept at night. And but otherwise, beyond that is a waste of your life. Every day is precious. Every day is a gift. Go out there, live it fully. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much. I'm Ignatius Raphael, the Deep Sleep Coach. And I look forward to seeing you next Friday, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to stop the recording now and the share, obviously. I'll just stop live stream